Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and we're on Skype today to talk with two young artists from Boston, Victoria and Zoe Yin. Their work will be exhibited in Cleveland, and they'll be here on Friday, November 12th in Cleveland at the Beck Center for the Arts for an opening, and the following night, Saturday the 13th, at the O Gallery at La Place in Beechwood with an exhibition of their work. Let's see if we can get on Skype and talk to them now. And we're saying hello right now to Zoe Yin. Hello, Zoe.
Hi.
So it looks like you're working on a painting there.
Yeah.
Your work is usually very bold and broad strokes and bright colors. People have compared it to Matisse in that way. Of course, Matisse didn't come to this until he was quite old, and you've come to it very young. What are your influences when you started painting? Are there other artists that you're being influenced by, or does this all come out of your imagination?
This all just comes out of my imagination because I like a lot of funny human forms, and so that's why I created this kind of style. Right.
So do you sort of track your dreams? Some people have dreams and they write them down and then they wake up and they paint their dreams, because you have a very dreamlike kind of approach to your work.
No, I do, because when I have dreams, I usually like have this funny person like sometimes dancing, and I think it's kind of fun to put it on a painting.
Okay. Have you tracked this back? Do you know where these dreams come from? Do you know what these visions are inspired by?
No, they just seem to like come out of nowhere.
Right. Are you headed in a certain direction with your art? Because are you exploring new areas right now? Because you've been very sort of, I want to say, figurative in terms of the human body, but in a very loose sense. Are you moving in a certain direction that you can tell?
I'm just moving in a direction that I think is gonna be very good for me, and what I think will be beautiful and fit.
How do you decide on your colors? You have very bold, very primary colors.
My colors for my paintings depend on the mood for the painting I use, and blue is a very calm color, so that's why I like to use it a lot.
Right. You're also very good in school, I assume. You do well in your classes?
Yes.
Is there certain courses that you enjoy more than others right now in terms of your studies?
I like writing and reading a lot in classes. That's why I look forward to independent reading and also writing subjects.
How about music? Is music a big part of your artistic life as well?
Yeah, but somehow music's cutting out of my school, and I'm disappointed.
Oh, so they've had some budget cuts and they cut out the music.
Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations, Zoe. At 9 years old, you've achieved quite a bit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your work here in Cleveland. We'd like to talk to your sister now, Victoria. Victoria is quite a bit older than you. She's 12 years old. So now we're talking with Victoria Yin in Boston in her studio. Hi, Victoria. How are you?
I'm good. Hi. How are you?
Thank you for taking time and allowing us to interrupt your work there. That looks like a beautiful piece you're working on.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to seeing you in Cleveland here. You've achieved quite a bit in your few years. People are really responding to your work, and it's very, very different from what we just saw from your sister Zoe. Your work is very classically oriented, very figurative. Who are your influences? What artists are you paying most attention to?
I think it's really hard for me to just name a few, because for me, ever since the beginning, it was kind of we didn't want to have like influence from anyone else. It just was supposed to be my own work, and we were afraid to be influenced by other artists. So ever since the beginning, I haven't really looked at much artwork from other people. even now, I think it's just myself really, and we're just trying to maintain my own style as much as we can. But many people have said my work resembles Salvador Dali quite a bit because of the surreal kind of aspect. But I do enjoy looking at a lot of the old kind of Renaissance masters like Michelangelo and Da Vinci, and recently I've done a lot of works with classical bodies in them. So
right.
Yeah, but overall, I think I just like to keep my own style and just do what I do.
Right. Do you do a lot of life drawing from human bodies? Because the work you do with the human body is really quite remarkable.
Well, thank you, but I think it's just what I do.
Are you doing it from memory, or are you doing it from photographs?
Quite often, right, I have something in front of me to look at, but then after a while, I have like a basic idea.
Okay.
But then after that, I kind of just paint from my mind, actually, and then maybe once or twice I'll go back and look at the photograph, but or image. But
right.
I kind of like to improvise.
Sure.
So,
and again, as you say, it looks like you're starting with sort of a Renaissance classical human figure, but then putting it into a surrealist sort of context and letting your imagination go sort of crazy with it as well. There's also this serpent that seems to show up in a lot of your work, at least the works that I have seen that are already on display here in Cleveland. Yeah. Is there a special significance to you or any symbolism to the serpent or the snake?
Well, I think that the serpent is kind of a very broad symbol. In the myth of Adam and Eve, it was the serpent who basically basically caused almost mankind, right? Because it seduced the two, Adam and Eve, and caused them to eat the forbidden fruit, right? So in my mind, the serpent represents many things. It represents wisdom. It represents the past. It represents our human knowledge almost. So when I put it into my work, it's almost represents what all of kind of the past for mankind almost.
Okay, all of humanity really.
Yeah.
So there's some religion in there as well, some Christian religion.
Yeah.
What was it like? You were the youngest artist to be exhibited at the International Art Expo. Your sister, the same thing. You're now selling works at auction for tens of thousands of dollars. What is that like for someone of your age? Remind me again, you're 12 years old, correct?
I've actually just recently turned 13, but...
Congratulations, you're a teenager.
Thank you. But I think overall, money to me isn't why I paint or why I do my artwork. I've been drawing ever since I was about 1 year old, so we've never, like my parents and we'd never imagined that I'd be here today. But for me, it's a great honor to know that people actually appreciate my work. But I think I try not to let the price or like money and then all the comments people give me distract me from what I'm doing. So yeah.
Well, are people starting to ask you to do certain kind of work? Are they commissioning you? Are they influencing you at all, or are you able to still concentrate and focus on your imagination and what you want to do?
I've actually had many commissions so far. Actually, when I was a long time ago, actually, when I was around 7, I was first commissioned by a family here locally. But since then, I've had many sort of requests, and then right now, I'm currently working on something that my publishing company is. It's called the Global Peace Initiative. And basically, it's something that an artist creates to represent global peace almost. But yeah, but most importantly, I think it's just what I like to do, and all the time it's just what I'm doing.
Well, listen, Victoria, thank you so much for taking time. And I almost feel bad taking your focus away from your painting. I know you have a limited time. You're going to school. You have studies. You have all kinds of things going on. And we'll look forward to seeing you when you do come to Cleveland. That was very exciting, you and your sister. Thanks very much for taking time to talk with us.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in cool Cleveland.